Your blueberries still look like shit? Mine did a year ago. Last year, I made a bold claim that what's in this cup could completely turn my blueberries around. And I told you that this could turn your blueberries around. Now, I had quite a few people buck me on that and tell me that that wasn't going to work. It was a waste of time, waste of money, and waste of everything else. In this video, I want to show you the results of that and let you decide for yourself, and then you can go back and watch that video. And you tell me whether or not you think that it worked. Almost a year ago, this plant had grown about 16 inches. Now you can tell that it's still growing quite a bit and quite well. The other plants looked really, really bad, and you can go back in that last video and you can see really just how bad they looked. They weren't growing and they weren't putting on near the leaf. They also looked sickly and they were dropping leaves. This year, this is more like what they're starting to look like. And that was after we added what we're going to talk about. So we've got a little bit more growth on this one, and then if you come over here to this one, then you're really starting to see quite a bit more growth. So if you come in close over here, you can see this. This is more like the growth that we're hoping to get. We got all of this. This is new leaf, right? You can tell the difference in the leaves right there from the color. You can tell that those are new leaves. So this right here has still got a little bit of that left. So these probably started growing this year. You can tell the lightness in that plant right there. Okay. This is probably most likely where it started growing this year, because you can see the hard, where the hard bark is. Are you zoomed in enough to see that? But you can see the hard bark from as the years are growing. So all of this is new growth. All of this right here is really new growth. Okay, so we really started to get an explosion not right at the beginning of the growing season. The explosion really started to happen probably about 2 months ago is when it really started to happen, rather than in the spring. Okay, and we're going to talk about why here in just a second. But all of this right here, you can tell how much healthier this plant looks, especially if you go back. There's not near the red spots. We've got a couple of red spots here, but nothing crazy. You want to look right in there. Nothing nearly like what it was. The plant looks significantly healthier, and you can tell that this plant, if you really go back and look, this plant has grown over, I want to say over 2 foot. Definitely over a foot. I know for sure that I've gotten 16 inches of growth in a lot of this. So these plants have grown quite a bit in the last, really about 2 months was the majority of it. All right, guys, so this is what we did. Now, y'all can watch the details of the video, and it's really going to help you out a lot. What we did was we added sulfur after checking the pH. And after checking, we were clear that that one over there had a much better pH. That's going to be better, more conducive to allow your plant to grow better, okay? And so a good pH meter is going to be the key, but also getting some sulfur. Now, there's other types of things you can get, and like I said, you can watch the details in that video. But we applied the sulfur to the right amount. The thing is that a lot of people started asking, well, I've done this and I'm not seeing a big result. This is the result you're going to get. Here's what you need to be clear on. Because this is a mineral, it does not happen overnight, okay? First of all, we applied it in September. Had we done it in spring, we would have had a little bit quicker results, okay? The colder your climate is, the harder, the slower your results are, because in order for this to work, what happens is all of the microorganisms inside your soil starts to break down the sulfur and starts to get into it, and that's what allows it to get into the soil and actually change the pH. So typically it takes about 6 months for that pH to reset when you're using sulfur. You could speed this up by adding compost or things like that, because you're adding more microorganisms. Like I said, the best time to do it is in spring, and then add your compost after adding your sulfur. So spring, sulfur, compost, and then water, and then you may even would fertilize it, but I wouldn't suggest fertilizing it until after you know that that pH has changed. So take that pH meter periodically and check it, but plan for it to take a little bit. If you're doing this right now, you're not too late. Just realize it's probably going to be the following year before it happens, especially if you're in a colder climate. So what you're going to want to do is go ahead and get it done immediately. You're not going to hurt. Buy that pH checker, check the pH, whatever you are, get it down to the right level. Okay, that's going to be about 5, 5.1, somewhere in there. And even I've seen blueberries do good around 6, okay? But around that 5 to 5.1, even 5.5 is what a lot of people suggest. To me, that seems to be the best overall for helping it to mitigate any kind of problems while also helping it to put off the most growth. And it seems to develop a juicier berry. I'm not sure why. That could be maybe it's got a deeper root system. I'm not sure what it is. Regardless, it definitely works changing that pH. So here's what I want y'all to do. I want y'all to check out that other video. There's other details in there. There's no point in me adding all the details in here. Watch the details, but I want you to get that pH checker, and I want you to get some sulfur, and I want you to change these blueberries and make sure that you got good blueberries. Grow for me. Grow big and beautiful blueberries. Oh, you weren't supposed to see the real secret. Are you recording right now? You're just constantly recording all of it?
Yeah. So
okay, I want y'all to look at this. Savannah, I got her a nice tripod over here. Beautiful tripod. She's still holding the camera. Your blueberries still look like shit. Last year I made a bold claim that what's in this cup changed everything. Oh my gosh. Now I gotta change my clothes. Video was made, I think it was September 1, so we're like 1 month from when that video was actually put out. So it's probably, no, that's too many details. Let me think. Okay. Where did I start at? Let me think. Almost a year.